Hey, it's Bruce from TPC. I am here today with Travis Irwin. He is our head of purchasing, but he's also a mountain bike enthusiast and CNC machining enthusiast, right?
Sure, I'll take that
And
today.
he's gonna tell us about this really cool brand that TPC has picked up recently. They are called 5Dev. Travis, tell me what they're all about.
Yeah, 5Dev is actually a US manufacturer based out of San Diego, and they make machine parts for the military, the aerospace industry, some other incredible things like SpaceX.
Yeah, I've heard they got parts on the Mars, right?
Yeah. So this became a passion project for them, and they thought, you know, with all of this technology that we have in-house, let's start making some cool products, because they have some mountain bikers on staff, and they decided, why not make our own components? And eventually it got pulled into aftermarket, and the customers benefiting from that.
And so they're called 5Dev because they're using these 5-axis CNC machines, right?
That's right. There's these massive 5-axis CNC rotors that mill each part to make sure that they can eliminate any waste, but then keep the durability and strength of these machine components.
And I think when we talk about 5Dev, the thing that people usually think of, definitely what I think of, is the cranks, right? So we have right here, these are their trail Enduro cranks. Can you tell me, well, why do they look like this?
Yeah, great question. Back to the machining aspect. They're very unique. If you look at it, this is something that you're always going to see on the trail and be able to recognize right off the bat that it's a 5Dev component. But the reason that they do this is they machine away any waste, but still get the strength of essentially a DH type crank with a trail crank weight.
And I think what you were telling me earlier was they use AI optimized sort of design, right? So they're using AI to figure out where they can remove all this excess material. And what we have here, this crank right here weighs 525 grams.
Yeah,
right?
which isn't necessarily light, but if you compare it to other cranks with the same sort of stiffness to weight ratio, it's a much lighter crank than, say, the Saint or an XL1.
Yeah, the XL1 DH and the Saint, I think, are both around 700 plus grams.
That's right.
Yeah, so you're getting that DH strength for trail weight.
Yeah, and you can't deny that this isn't something that you want on the bike. I mean, just the way it looks, it makes you stand out from the crowd a little bit. These come in multiple colors, so you've got the raw, you've got the black, and right here we've got a really cool version of the Kashima-coated ano, so matching your fork or your transfer posts. It's really slick.
Yeah, that's probably what I would run on my bike. And what I really like too, I just noticed too, that the preload collar on the spindle, that's machined out of aluminum too.
Yeah, for sure. Most cranks, they come with a plastic preload collar, and I've failed a couple times and cracked those, so it's really nice to have this high quality material. You're never gonna damage this preload collar for sure.
Yeah, and it's a 3-piece sort of spindle, 2 crank arms. Spindles, we have dub options, you have 30mm options.
A DH option as well for length. One thing I'd love to mention about the arms themselves is that most manufacturers, they go down to about a 165 mil length. 5Dev goes all the way down to a 135 mil. So if you're concerned about rock strikes and you just want a shorter crank, you're getting a high quality, high value crank in any size that fits your needs.
You know, speaking of rock strikes, I like how much material is machined away around this sort of pedal thread. I don't know about you, but I hit rocks a lot with my crank arms.
Yeah.
And just that extra bit of clearance might save my life someday.
It makes a difference.
Yeah.
What's really cool is when you pair these with the pedals that they make 2 different types of pedals. And these are called the all-around pedals that we got here. Again, this has got the Kashima anodization on it. But if you look at the pedal, it's super thin. And so again, you're really keeping that height up. And so it's not gonna strike on rocks. You can change out the pins on this. So if you lose a pin or if you get pin wear, really easy to change out and adjust.
Now, I just want to mention too, I just noticed, I like their packaging. There's like no plastic, it's all recyclable. That's neat. But we should mention these cranks, they use SRAMs, direct mount, 3-bolt standard. So you can use any sort of 3-bolt chainring, but 5Dev does make their own chainrings. We have a few here. They, like the cranks, come in some anodized colors, but there's a lot more options. Purple, Kashima, blue here. They come in all the normal sizes, but there's also...
They make an ovalized product, which is really cool.
Let's take a look here. And I believe it said it has 12% ovality, so it's a little more aggressive than, like, say, a wolf tooth oval. Yeah.
And an oval ring really helps you get over that dead spot in the stroke. So if you're having that issue, something to try out, and definitely you can get this in the same sort of anodized colors that they come in the standard chainrings. They also just released a new titanium chainring that adds a high level of durability. So again, these things really are easy to put on, 3 bolts, you're ready to rock.
So these chainrings, they run $100, pretty standard for a chainring.
Yeah.
What about the cranks?
Cranks are not cheap, but $500. Again, you're probably gonna have these for life. The all-around pedals are $190. If you package this together, it's not the cheapest thing, but again, this is gonna last you for a long time and you can switch them out on different bikes. I personally am riding them on my Druid. I've got some on my DH bike as well, so really cool stuff.
So I should try them out?
I mean, Nico Mullally rides them.
Oh, the king of DH nerds.
Yeah. A shout out
right.
to Nico. I know he broke his hip this weekend at Tennessee Nationals, but we're thinking about you, and I know it wasn't the 5Dev fault.
Well, I definitely think I'll probably try them because of Nico, not because of you. But
I'm disappointed.
yeah, I love US made products, and these, they look like nothing else.
Yeah,
So
they're awesome.
you can find all these 5Dev components at tpc.bike. So be sure to check them out, and we will see you next time.